All right, perfect. All right, so yeah, so like and I just so I just started the recording. I was talking and didn't get started with the recording. But again, just a special thank you for everyone who shot it, who's encouraging me throughout this whole entire journey. And special shout out to someone who's been really there from the beginning. She's quiet in the group, but that's my I call her my crypto mom. Um, so I told you I was going to give you a shout out. That's my crypto mom, right? Miss Joanne Poe. Hi, Miss Poe, right?
Hi. That's because
Always,
we appreciate you.
yes, ma'am. Thank
You're an
you, thank
excellent
you.
leader.
you know, and I really appreciate you and your encouraging words and everything. Even when I'm going a little bit too hard and it's might be impacting me, I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. And then everybody, our personal conversations, the conversations that we've had outside of the group, and I mean that's literally everyone. I mean, we got Toy. I appreciate those conversations. Darren, Tony, just the camaraderie that we do have in this group. Now, I know we don't necessarily maybe have the largest group, but we got a really good group here, and everybody's willingness to help each other when is definitely noticeable. In the Telegram group, we do see that. Okay, so yeah, so no, with no further ado, we'll be getting started here in just a few moments, and I do yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll be getting started here in just a few moments. Wanted to go ahead and be respectful of this gentleman's time. When it comes to time, I like to be punctual, right? And it comes down to a previous quote, okay? And some of you guys may or may not have heard it. So even down to when I'm setting up appointments to get even just talk to you guys, I'm calling you guys right at that time. And that comes from the following quote: "To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. To be late is as if it would have been as if you never shown up." Okay. So time is very important. That's the only thing that we have. That's the only thing that, regardless of the amount of money you make, don't make, save, spend, that's the only thing that you cannot buy back. All right. So with no further ado, it's 5 o'clock. Well, soon to be 5 o'clock. We're having Mr. Richard on the that's going to be joining us here on our Zoom. He's going to be going deep into and really kind of sharing and talking about one of our platforms, which is known as 7K. And as many of you guys know, 7K is, if your goal is to get this ring, 7K is one of the platforms that you need to participate in. Now, when it comes to these platforms, don't just get started in the platforms just for the purpose of this, right? Um, you really need to understand and know what you're getting into, right? And really truly understand that. Most people get the gold and silver part of the investing and holding real assets, but a good gentleman that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. It's interesting, that now being in this space, able to grow these relationships and have these connections, because I've been actually following this gentleman for a very long time, and he may not even know that, because I've been following him since Rabu introduced him to our network marketing company, literally years ago, like years and years ago. And wealth of information, CPA, is very respected in his field. And this is when it comes to gold and silver, outside of the crypto space, right? Because we diversify. So outside of the crypto space, it's really good to always make sure that you're diversifying regardless of where you're investing. Even within your 401k, right? You can invest within your 401k in different types of IRAs. You can have gold and silver there. You can even do that with your 401k. You can have REITs and everything. But I'm not going to, I'm going to I get the opportunity to also sit back and learn. So with no further ado, Mr. Richard, if you're on the Zoom, the floor is yours, sir.
Great, thank you, Marcus.
Awesome.
And congratulations on that ring.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
That's
Awesome.
a beautiful
Thank
ring.
you.
I see it in your background there. What a great leader and example.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Would it be all right with you if I share my screen?
Yes,
People can
absolutely.
visually see what's going on.
Absolutely. So let me make you, I need to make you a, oh, okay, good. Yeah, we see it. Perfect.
Can you see that okay? Okay, great. Now, like Marcus said, this is one of the companies that's requirements to go for that ring, which I hope you all are giving that a shot. I think it's very obtainable. And it's like, as I've been talking to Rabu, it's like, why would you not go for it? It's not some reward for doing a lot of marketing or bringing in a lot of people. It's a reward for being just smart with your money and doing investing and stuff, right? And I like to tell people, some things will make you rich, other things will make you wealthy. And so cryptos is one of those things that can make us rich. All the different crypto platforms that we have that Rabu's brought on to us. And but other things like the mortgage notes, the precious metals, the Amazon stores, they will make us wealthy. And here's the difference between rich and wealthy in my definition. Okay, I had a client that was rich. He made consistently over $600,000 a year. Okay, so that's over $50,000 a month, which is more than most people make in a year. And he had a nice home, nice cars, beautiful wife, cute children, right up until the day they took out bankruptcy and got divorced. You know, yeah, he was making $600,000 a year. It's too bad he was spending 610. I have another client that's wealthy. Now, modest house, but it's paid for. Nice, clean vehicles, but they're older and they're paid for. And a great lifestyle. He's always in the mountains, hunting, fishing, snowmobiling, kind of my dream lifestyle. He's wealthy. Now, I want to be rich and wealthy. Okay. And a good example of that is somebody like maybe Rabu. Financially, he seems to have it pretty much together. And when I say he seems to, well, I'm a CPA, so I know he's pretty much got it together. Okay. And I appreciate him bringing all these platforms to us. And so I want to go on with 7K, give a quick overview on exactly what it is. Like Marcus said, to a lot of people, let's see if I can get my program working here. Bear with me. Okay, we might have to take the optional route to this. So I want a lot of people are joining 7K just because Rabu says it's a good idea to join. They don't really understand what the benefits are and what 7K is all about. And so that's what I want to introduce to you here this evening over the next few minutes. And hold on a minute, I'm going to, I'm sorry, I'm going to shut down my PowerPoint and bring it back up. I can't get these slides to work. I apologize for the technical difficulties here.
No worries. So, so yeah, while you're, is there anything that you need me to do on my end, or is just?
I think it's let me try again here. There we go.
Okay.
There, can you see my screen again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. So a little bit about me. Like Marcus said, I've been a CPA for 34 years. And most of those years, I was also an auditor, and not for the IRS, kind of the opposite. I audited governmental entities, nonprofits, utility companies, banks, places like that. And in the last 20 years or so, I started what I call Financial Freedom Program, helping people with debt elimination, putting into retirement, into savings. And that led me actually to precious metals about 12 years ago in 2008. And the reason I started the Financial Freedom Program It seems like every year we work harder and harder, but we don't really get ahead financially. We're just barely covering the basis. I like to explain it as it's like we're on a treadmill and we're all in the same boat. We're on this treadmill, and just to stay even financially, we've got to be moving forward, because if we stop, we're going to go backwards. Well, if you want to get ahead, you got to strap on your track shoes and start sprinting, because every year things happen to crank up that treadmill a little bit faster all the time. And it's because we get higher and higher costs. A study was done in 2017 that showed 44% of Americans could not cover a $400 emergency expense. They had to put on a credit card, borrow from a family member, sell something, but they just didn't have that cash on hand. And here's what's happening. This graph goes back to 1913, which is when they created the Federal Reserve. And it goes to 2013, 100 years later. In that 100-year time period, our dollar has lost 95% of its purchasing power. I've actually seen this graph go out a few more years to 2018, and it's lost another 2% in that time period. A lot of the consistent fall actually started in 1971. In 1971, we had a lot of social programs we were funding, similar to what we're proposing right now. We had the Vietnam War that we were funding. So up until that time, the US dollar was backed by gold. It became known as the world's reserve currency. We could not print more money than what there was gold backing it up. And so all the countries in the world use the US dollar, and most still do, to do business with, to transact with, because it was the most stable, backed by gold. In 1971, we were printing all this money to fund these social programs and the war. And the other countries, starting with France, said, you know what? We don't believe these Americans have enough gold to back up these dollars. We want our gold. So they started cashing in their gold for dollars. And Nixon came on and said, okay, we got to temporarily suspend the convertibility of gold to dollars. I don't know what temporary means to him, but 50 years later, we're still not on the gold standard. So what's the ramifications of that is what we call inflation. So this graph here shows how prices have gone up on things from 2000 to 2018. And the one I always question is that food at home, basically groceries, where it's gone up by 43%. Because mine's gone up by more than 43% in the last few years. It's like a bag of potato chips. You know, that might only be 43% more, but the bag's like half the size it was. What they call the party size now, we used to call the snack size. But utilities have gone up by 100%. You want to send your kids to college, 150%. Medical costs, 97%. Your car insurance, we all own cars, we need to insure them, 97%. And that brings me to a definition of inflation. Most people, including myself until a few years ago, if you were to ask me the definition of inflation, I would say it's the cost of goods going up. Things just get more expensive. I found that that is not true. The definition of inflation is not the cost of goods going up, it's the purchasing power of the dollar going down. If we value stuff in something other than the US dollar, we'll find out it's got cheaper. And so this is what brings me to the precious metals, what they call sound money, which is silver and gold, and why a lot of the big governments, the big financial institutions, the wealthy people are buying silver and gold. So I'm going to turn the clock back here to 1965. In 1965, this and this, 1 ounce of silver, had the same purchasing power. Silver was $1 an ounce. So I could go to the grocery store and I could buy a gallon of milk for $1 or 1 ounce of silver. Roll forward to today, I'm not going to get a gallon of milk with that dollar, maybe a pint of milk almost. Okay. But if I walk in with the value of that silver, I'm walking out with this graph in 2019 says 5 gallons of milk. With what silver's done the last year or so, you're probably walking out with 8 or 9 gallons of milk. So has milk got more expensive or has it got cheaper? My favorite example is the 1965 Ford Mustang. I'm in the cars, especially muscle cars. In 1965, I could have gone to the Ford dealer and bought a brand spanking new 1965 Ford Mustang for 2,500 of these or 2,500 of these. Today, $2,500 is not going to buy me a Ford Mustang. Maybe a set of tires, a rim or two if they're cheap, not the whole car. However, if I walk in with the value of 2,500 of these, I'm walking away with 2 Ford Mustangs. So again, has cars, vehicles gotten more expensive or less expensive? I would say they've gotten less expensive because I can buy more of them if I'm using this to value them instead of the dollar. And that brought me then to 7K Metals. 7K Metals has been around 4.5 years now. Like I said, I've been buying precious metals, specifically silver and gold, since 2008. So I've been buying precious metals for about 8 years before 7K came along. A person that part of my financial freedom program that knew I was recommending to buy precious metals introduced me to them. They're based in Idaho Falls, Idaho. I live in Afton, Wyoming, so Idaho Falls is only about a 2-hour drive away. That's where we do a lot of our shopping. Our nearest Walmart's 2 hours away in Idaho Falls. So anyway, I went over there and I met with some of the owners and really liked their concept on how they were getting at precious metals to the average person. I came home and the auditor part of me, I do due diligence. You know, like as an auditor, I don't believe anything you say. I don't disbelieve you. My job is to verify what you say. And so I came back and did my due diligence to verify what I was being told by the owners of 7K. And what I did is I researched each of the owners. There's 4 of them with different backgrounds. And I found, yeah, these guys can make it work. They've got the deep pockets. They've got a lot of money to be able to make it work, which to grow a business, when it grows fast, you got to be able to keep up with cash flow. And they had the management background and skills. Now, 4.5 years later, I've gotten to know them personally. One of the owners is actually a client of mine. And I've had meetings with them, go to dinner with them. And they're just great people, but I've learned their heart. So 4 years ago, I learned, technically what they were all about on paper. Now I know their heart. And they truly just do want to help people, the average little guy like me, be able to afford to get into precious metals. And so they really set out to answer a bunch of questions. When we start getting into precious metals, we have questions. Where should I buy them from? Who can I trust to buy them from? There's a lot of fraud out there, a lot of fakes. You got to make sure you're getting the real thing. What should I even be buying? How can I afford to buy it in small quantities, and how can I get more of it? And so to answer all these and resolve a lot of these questions, they set up a membership model. So their business's model is more like Costco or Sam's Club, Amazon Prime, even your local golf country club, where you pay an annual membership. And with that membership has benefits. And one of the main benefits of 7K Metals is their dealer direct pricing on their silver and gold bullion. Now, bullion, this is bullion, just the raw coins. They put it into bars. There's a 1 ounce bar. Here's a 100-ounce bar. That's bullion. And it's the cheapest way to be able to start buying gold and silver. Now, normally is what happens when they market the precious metals is they go to the US Mint. Now, the US Mint, they don't sell it. They just turn it into bullion, into the bars and the coins. And then there are 13 dealers authorized to buy directly from the mint. And these are the big boys. They're buying millions and millions of dollars worth of precious metals every month. Now, normally the dealers would sell to wholesalers, who sell it to brokers, who sell it to retailers, who sell it to us. So you can see that normal chain, there's a lot of businesses in there that they've got to pay their overhead, pay their bills, and make a profit. Well, what 7K has done is they've gone out and got contracts with several of those authorized dealers. So they buy it directly from there as close as the mint as you can. And they turn around and sell that bullion to us with no markups. So they're selling to them at their cost. And there's no minimums. If I only have $30 or $40, I can buy 1 ounce of silver. And there's no maximums. If I've got $1 million that I want to put into precious metals, I can do that too. So that's, of course, the thing that really drew 7K to me to begin with, was their good pricing on the silver and gold bullion. But they have some other key benefits. Another one that was very important to me is what they call a buyer certification program. And I apologize for my voice. Where I live here, we'll have nice sunny weather one day and 2 inches of snow the next day, and it's raising havoc with my voice, so I apologize. Anyway, this buyer certification education program educates you on, based on why you're buying precious metals, what precious metals you should be buying. Now, I've been buying precious metals for 8 years before they came along, right? And I thought I had it down. I thought I knew what I was doing. I didn't have a clue. With it, when I went through this program right here, was worth way more than the annual membership that they charged me to find out what I was doing wrong. Now, I was doing a lot of the right stuff, but there were some things that I should have been doing that I was not. Now, there's 5 main reasons that we would buy precious metals. One is a hedge against poor government decisions and possible economic problems. And we see that we run that risk all the time, dealing with taxes and the government as much as I do. And when I was auditing them, yeah, I've got a real concern there with the monetary system and the economy. It's also a good way to accumulate wealth. Like I said, all the wealthy, the financial institutions, countries, the wealthy, most all of them have precious metals in their portfolios. And then we want to protect that wealth. And by protect it, I mean protect it against inflation. Again, money in the bank is going down in value, where other things like precious metals is going up in value. So we want to maintain that wealth and not lose it through inflation. Some people just want to diversify their portfolio. Maybe I've got some crypto, maybe I've got some stock in the stock market, maybe I've got some real estate. Let's diversify into precious metals. And the last one is one that I did not appreciate on the coin collecting. It's the funnest. It wasn't my cup of tea when I first started this, but I found out through that education program how important it is. I'm going to give you an example here of, I don't know how many basketball fans are on this, but Utah Jazz used to be owned by Larry Miller. Now, Larry Miller passed away a few years ago, actually, but he had a coin collection nobody even knew that he had. Well, his wife just sold that coin collection a few months ago for almost $24 million and donated it to a children's hospital in the Salt Lake City area. Now, a few years ago, I thought I wanted the bullion at the best prices. I was not into collecting. But now I've gotten more into it. I see people like Larry Miller. I thought people like that were crazy for spending so much for precious metals. Well, Primary Children's Hospital in Salt Lake City, Utah, which my daughter happens to work for with the little cancer children, they're pretty appreciative that Larry Miller was crazy enough to have that coin collection. And one example that I can show you is what 7K Metals calls their $1.2 million mistake. And to tell you a little bit more about this, there's a coin called an MS-70. So MS means mint state. So my Ford Mustang, if I have a mint condition Ford Mustang, it's worth a lot of money. If I got a Ford Mustang that's been sitting out in the field for 50 years, it's a rust bucket, it's not worth near as much money. Same thing happens with coins. MS is mint state, and they're graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The 70 is a perfect coin. It's never been touched by human hands. They wear gloves. They look at it under a microscope. If there's no blemishes or flaws, they give it a 70 rating and put it in this plastic case. So that's MS. Now the MS-70. Now the silver eagle is the most sought after coin in the world. It's actually a silver dollar. So this is a silver eagle bullion. It's a silver dollar. I could take the grocery store and buy a candy bar with it. This is the same coin, but graded MS-70. Well, if I would have bought one of those MS-70 silver eagles every month since they started producing them in 1986, it would cost me probably roughly $45,000, $46,000 over those years. However, it would be worth more than $1.2 million today as a collection. Now, the problem is, all good intentions aside, it takes a little bit of self-discipline to get in the habit of buying a coin every month. So as an optional benefit, 7K Metals have what they call the autosaver program. And that is basically, they'll send you a collectible coin, an MS-70 collectible coin every month. It just shows up in my mailbox. And we have 3 choices. There's what they call the basic. And the basic is that MS-70 Silver Eagle. Now, to make it even more collectible, in the picture there on the screen, the top one, you can see it's the front end of a car. That's the state of Michigan. So 7K Metals is the only company in the world that has this state series. That's the state of Michigan. This one is Pennsylvania, which makes them even that much more collectible. I'm selling these, probably within 6 to 8 months for half again as much to double what I paid for it, because there's collectors coming on board and they want all 50 states. I have 2 collections I'm keeping for myself. I'm going to leave one to my heirs like Larry Miller did. The other one, when it's a complete set collection, I'm going to sell to somebody for a small fortune. And I also get extra ones that I sell to pay for the ones that I'm keeping. I do the same thing with the variety coin. The variety coin, again, is minted by the Cook Island Mint, specifically for 7K metals. It's a state collection again. We see on your screen there, that middle coin is the New York Beaver. This is the Idaho Appaloosa. Each state is coming out with their with a symbol for them as a state animal. And I buy at least one of those every month too. And then there's a specialty coin, which that's a highly collectible, highly valuable silver coin or 1/10 ounce gold coin. And that's become a very popular program to help people accumulate that wealth. Another program they came out with just within this last year is a lot of people were saying, I'm getting all these precious metals. I don't want to keep them in my home. I'm afraid somebody's going to break in and steal them. And so this is what money can do for you, but they actually built their own state-of-the-art vault in their home office over in Idaho Falls. I've toured it. It's amazing, the security that's on that thing. It's 100% insured by Lloyd's of London to guarantee that the silver and gold that you have there is really there. Okay. Now, attached to that is what they call the sound money wallet. Another question that people have is, okay, how can I easily buy and sell precious metals? I buy some precious metals. Maybe my car breaks down and I need that money to go get it fixed. So that sound money wallet is attached to the vault. And at the click of a button, I can take my cash and I can turn it to gold, or I can turn it to silver. When I need cash with the click of a button, I can switch it back from silver or gold to cash. They've got a Venmo type system to where you can do member-to-member transfers for free. So when I sell my coins or when I buy coins from another 7K member, I just transfer it from my Sound Money wallet to their Sound Money wallet, and then they send me the coin, or vice versa. Now, you want your precious metals, I click a button, I send it to you. So you can say, okay, you know what? I want 2 ounces of gold and 10 ounces of silver mailed to me. Click the button, it's to you usually 2 days, 2-day Federal Express. So that is huge for people to be able to store their precious metals and to be able to convert from cash to precious metals and back very quickly. Another program is a 7K Advantage program. And so every month you're on that autosaver program, you also qualify for the 7K Advantage, which is just savings on everyday shopping, Home Depot, places like that. And where I live, we don't have a Home Depot. It's 2 hours away with Walmart. But I've used it quite a bit in my travel. I did a lot of traveling before I was shut down by COVID. As Marcus said, I do a lot of work for direct sales companies. So I travel the country doing home-based business tax education training. And when I was using those, when I was doing those, then I used the 7K Advantage for my travel expenses for motels and car rentals and stuff like that. And it saved me between $600 to $800 a year on that. They have the 7K Getaway program, which is just, you go somewhere and have fun. Like Rob Owen took the group to Dubai, when was that? Just a month or two ago. We have the same type of trips with 7K Getaway. My wife and I went a couple of years ago to Cancun, all-inclusive 4-star restaurant, resort, all-inclusive, and just, it's a lot of fun getting to meet people and stuff. The buffalo there at the top, the Bison Ranch, one of the owners has the second largest bison ranch in the country. I'm into horses and outdoors and animals, and so it was fun for me to go over and tour his ranch and his facilities. As you guys already know, there's 2 memberships, annual memberships, the standard and the premium. Sometimes the standard is better for some people, and I've advised a few people to go that way. For the most part, you get a lot more bang for your buck to join at the premium level. There's just a lot more benefits with that premium level, just more value to it. So let me just recap the member benefits. One benefit is that residual income for a lifetime. I haven't mentioned that yet. I'll go through that here in just a minute. But they are a direct sales company. So for those that want to refer people and market those memberships, they do have a residual income program. They got the autosaver program, the Advantage Rewards money saving program. I'm going to stop here on where it says the limited and rare coins, because that's where it's really got to be popular. So as an example, this coin right here, they are doing what they call the Roman Empire series. It'll be a series of 12 coins that are replicas of the old Roman coins that they had back in the Roman Empire days. Okay, I just bought that coin. It was delivered to my home, I think it was last Thursday. I paid $350 for it. I've been offered over $1,000 for it. I have another one. The first, that's actually the second in the series. The first in the series was $350. I've been offered over $2,000 for it. I haven't sold it because I want to get the full collection. And there's other ones that are that same type of thing that they just come up with. This is one of my favorite ones. You can't see it, but they have a Marvel series. That Marvel series is not exclusive to 7K. You can get it other places. But I show that as an example because that's the Black Panther. And they made that available to us right before the movie came out a few years ago. I paid, I think, $149 for it. Within 2 weeks when the movie came out, I could have sold it for $300. Last year, just a few months ago, when the actor passed away, I saw those selling for as much as $1,000. And maybe I should have sold it, but I wanted the full collection, and that's actually one of my favorite pieces in the whole collection, so I didn't sell it. You know, some people call me crazy for keeping it, and maybe I am, but I like it, so I kept it. Whoops, clicked on the wrong button. So then, of course, another benefit is the Sound Money Wallet. For those that do the business side of it, there are great tax benefits from having a 1099 home-based business. Marcus mentioned before, you can get a self-directed IRA and roll over some of your 401k or another IRA into it for retirement purposes. This last summer, they came out with a really good healthcare program. A lot of people were maybe losing their jobs and benefits from COVID, and so they came out with a good healthcare program. Of course, the dealer direct pricing on the bullion. And one thing they didn't mention on there that was important to me was that buyer certification education program. So you're getting just a lot of value packed into that annual membership if you just know what it is and take advantage of it. And so kind of what I explain to people, the bullion is my savings account. I do not buy low and sell high, although I could have doubled my money on that over the last year because of what silver's done. I'm not selling that bullion. My collectibles, that is what I'm doing. I'm buying and selling those. Some of them I keep long-term for my own collection. Some I buy specifically to sell again. Now, just real quickly on their referral program or their compensation program, because here's another problem they tried to address. Remember back in 2017, the survey that said people 44% cannot cover a $400 emergency. And believe it or not, that has not gotten better since then. With COVID, I'm sure it's a lot worse. So their referral program is a dual team. In the direct sales industry, it's called a binary. And each time you get 500 points on each team, that generates a $500 check. Now, there's different ways of getting points. Your memberships. Whenever you sell a membership, and then a year later when they renew, that gives you points. Those monthly autosavers give you points. Rare coin sales give you points. So for example, this is an autosaver. I got 15 points when I bought that, and everybody in my organization got 15 points. This is another autosaver. I got 20 points, and everybody got 20 points when we bought that one. The collectible ones, everybody got 5 points when I bought that one on the rare coins. And then there are retail sales. I'm not going to retails very much because but people go onto your website. They can buy the coins on the website. They don't pay the same price that you do. They pay a retail price. And then they basically, 7K splits the retail profits with you. I know a few people that do that. That's not why I'm in 7K. I'm in 7K to be able to get people the bullion sales. And on the bullion, there is no points for that. I do not get paid when people buy bullion because the company doesn't make any money on it. So how do those points work? You know, after you get all those points, you got to do something with them. So let's turn them into cash. To become an associate and qualify to be paid, you need to have 2 sales, one on your right team and one on your left team. That qualifies you to an associate, and that lets you earn up to $500 per week whenever you have 500 points on each leg. If that's $500 a week isn't good enough for you, okay, let's become a copper and just do it again. One more sale on each side for a total of 2 on each side. Now you qualify for $1,000 a week. Still want to make more? Do it again. Have 3 on each side, and you can make $2,000 a week. The sweet spot is really that silver. The reason I say it's a sweet spot is I got a promotion going on right now to where if you become silver associate in 90 days, they will give you a 100-ounce silver bar. That's a pretty significant bar. It's about just over 6 pounds. And right now that's about a $3,000 bonus for going silver in 90 days. Now, one more thing on this compensation plan that's somewhat unique is our compensation plan is not for the $1 million earners. Their philosophy is instead of having 1 or 2 people at the top of the company making millions of dollars, they want everyone making tens of thousands of dollars. So it's very much a team concept. So let's say I sold Marcus his membership. Let's say I sold it to him personally. And I'm saying, I want to become silver. So I say, hey, Marcus, let's go on this. Because for me to become a silver, I've got to help one person on each side become a bronze. So I'm going to say, hey, Marcus, I want to go silver. I need you to be a bronze. And Marcus, for you to become a bronze, you got to help one of your teammates become a copper. And so I see a Tony on here. So Marcus reaches out to Tony and say, hey, Tony, I want to run with this and become a silver. And so you do that one on each team, on each leg. Well, then what soon happens is people start pushing you higher. Because Marcus is going to say, I want that 100-ounce silver bar. I don't care if you get it, Richard, I want it. And so then I have a person on each leg that has that philosophy. Well, they're going to push me to become gold, as long as I have at least 7 personally sold on each side. And so really all you need is, you do need one person that wants to go with that. But to become a silver, I just need one person on each side that wants to move the business. The other 4 can just be somebody there buying precious metals. They've got to be active, which to be active means they're buying on one of those autosavers. I went through that pretty quickly. If you want more details on that, feel free to reach out to me. You can private message me. I'm in the group. Marcus knows how to get a hold of me. And Rabu does. You can reach out through Rabu. But I wanted to basically give you a high overview, especially on the importance of all the benefits that you're getting with that membership and why it's really there. The name of the game is really just get that bullion to protect your wealth once you're getting it through the cryptocurrencies and the different platforms we have there. So Marcus, pop back on here. And if you have any questions that your people would have, I can answer quickly. I'd be happy to do that.
You know what? Thank you so much, Richard. I do appreciate you and your time and your expertise and sharing this important platform. Because just like to your point, it's not just doing this just for the purposes of the ring, right? It's really outside. Even if this was the only fate, because you can get involved in any platform and just stick with 1 or 2 or whatever the case may be. But this is when you start looking at these avenues that maybe you were exposed to. I know I wasn't necessarily exposed to how to get my hand on gold and silver, but this is how. Yeah, right. So this is the true. This is one of the true journeys to actually begin to accumulate wealth. You follow what I'm saying? So, Rich, I do appreciate that. But guys, family, guys, ladies, family, any questions here? I mean, that's why we have it here. You know, we got a few moments. Don't want to keep Richard, too long. But yeah, if you guys have a question, please ask. This is what we're here for. Or if you don't feel comfortable asking in an open platform, we can always just reach out. But yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have a question. Am I coming through clearly?
Yes, sir.
All right, great, thanks. Thanks so much for the presentation, Mr. Brown. Really, truly appreciate it and gain a lot of info and insight. So I am a member of 7K, but I'm not a member of the autosaver program because my initial thoughts and intentions were, well, okay, I don't need to be on the autosaver program for them to send me a coin every month. I can just go on and get the dealer direct coin for maybe, you know, $34, get an ounce of silver. But you did touch on and highlighted how every month, if I'm not mistaken, it will be, if let's say you do the specialty program, not the specialty, but the one for the variety program, you'll be getting a mint state 70 coin each and every month, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, all right.
And that one will be the state animal coins. This right here is Idaho.
Mhm.
And I accidentally, which I'm glad, I accidentally got two of them. Okay. And so that's $139. I've been offered $600 for that coin.
Hmm.
And I probably will sell it because I'll never sell all of them. I'm going to have one full set for myself. That's where the real value is in the coin collecting. But I bring that up because that's the way to get more bullion. If I buy this for, let's say 150, to round numbers up, by the time I got it shipped to me, I sell it for 600. Okay, is that a $450 I can put back into more of the bullion? Because I'm like you, I'm more into bullion than the collectibles, but I have gotten the wisdom. I do have a big collection now as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Good question.
Yeah, I have a question, Richard, and thanks for the presentation. I think it was great. I learned some things that I didn't know about it because I'm not in 7K metals yet, but I was exploring it, so I'm going to be jumping on board in the next week or so. My question, unless I missed it in the presentation, because I was driving my daughter to work and then coming back, so I might have missed it, so I apologize. Who authenticates the value of the coins? Because I see people, and I love the testimonies, they're showing their coins, and I heard you say what the value of this one is or that one is. Who authenticates the value of the coins?
Okay. Now the value, that's, okay, let me answer that in two parts. As far as so there's a company, NGC and PCGS, they're the graders. They're the ones that says, yes, this is a perfect coin. And they're the top graders in the world. Most of ours are done by NGC, and actually its vice president of NGC is now a 7K Metals member. As far as the value, it's whatever a willing buyer will pay to a willing seller. Okay, so I don't know, like this one right here, the Roman series, it's enough out that it hasn't been appraised yet. Okay, and I don't know if anybody's interested in having to appraise it, but I'm just selling it. Well, I'm not selling that one, but those that are selling it, it's basically somebody else's. A lot was within 7K. Okay, there was only 500 of those coins minted, and there was a couple thousand people that want them. And so somebody said, hey, so it's lots of times somebody said, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for that coin. And somebody else said, well, no, I'll give you 1,200. I got to have that for my collection.
Wow.
There's not really somebody certifying how much they're worth. It's basically, that's just what I'm selling them for. It's worth, that's what it's worth. If it's worth more to you than to me, then I'll sell it to you, basically.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Great question. Appreciate that.
No problem.
And really quick, and Tony, Tony also has his hand raised. So Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks, Richard. I really appreciate your time. I've been looking forward to this. So I've got a couple questions. I think one of them was already partially answered, but the first question that I have is, so the autosaver program, I just want to make sure I'm understanding it. That's the one that would be like, I pay the $139 and then they send me a coin every month, correct? I just want to make sure I'm understanding that.
That's right. Yes, that's the variety coin.
Okay, so is that coin worth $139 at that point, or am I waiting for it to go up in value? And that's like the whole point with that auto ship program.
Yeah, and so another great question. So it's worth $139 to me. Okay, and that's all the collector's thing. I have the client that he owns a storage unit, and somebody didn't pay his bill, so he took his contents out, and there was 10,000 sports cards, trading cards, baseball cards. Okay. And because of my relationship with the coins and a certain dealer that can give me the value of those, he gave them to me to have them valued. There are cards in there that might be worth $2 to me. Okay. But they might be worth $100 to you if it's one of your favorite sports fans and or one of your sports figures and you really want it. So the 139, is it worth that? Yeah, it's worth that because there's thousands of people paying it. It's worth it to them. Now I have a friend that's part of 7K. He's a Robert Kiyosaki rich dad coach. He doesn't like the collectibles. Okay, so to him, it's not worth 139 to him. He is on the autosaver. He's on the Silver Eagle because he understands Silver Eagles better, and he can sell them and make more money. So to him, he's not interested in the collecting part of it. He's just interested in the bullion. So to him, that's not worth 139. So he doesn't buy it. To me, it's worth 139 because I know probably in a few months I can sell it like that one for 600.
Okay. All right. And then I think that kind of answers the other question that I have, but so like, and I'm going to use the Black Panther coin as an example. You said that you could have sold it for $1,000. So it wasn't necessarily appraised at $1,000. It was just worth to a particular individual.
Exactly.
Correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And all
right. Thank you.
I don't think it would, and I don't think it would, probably 300 or 400 would be more the real value. You just find the right person. This coin right here, it's an MS-70 commemorating Mickey Mouse's 90th birthday. Okay. I paid, I think, 149 for it. I have other things I'm putting with it to make it worth, quite valuable. But one of our people was in Disneyland. He had some coins with him. He takes them everywhere he goes. And he happened to run into a Disney executive who's either his daughter or his wife's birthday. The guy paid $3,000 for it.
Wow.
It's not going to praise for that coin won't praise for $1,000. It just depends on following on the right person at the right time in that case. Because I don't know, but a Disney executive, nice birthday present. He had the money. Why not get it for his daughter or his wife or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
So the auto saver is different than the auto ship. Is that two different programs?
No, the auto saver is that's what they call their auto ship. Traditional network marketing, it's your auto ship where you're getting protein shakes or whatever. So the auto saver is kind of like their auto ship.
So if you're not really into the coins, you're really doing this just for the investment side of it. Just get the coins coming in every month, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, basically you take it to a dealer and see what it's worth, and it should be worth more just because of the value of. Now these are silver coins or no? They're just collectibles. No,
they're silver. The basic and the variety, they are silver. The specialty coin, sometimes that's a 10-ounce gold coin.
Okay.
Or it's highly collected, but they are all silver. So worst case scenario, they'll be worth the silver content that's in them.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
And to follow up with that, Tony, if I can, one of the owners, this is the one that's my client. This has been his brainchild for years and years. He was with the company 30 years ago or more. They had the same type of program, but it was gold. So they had their auto ship program that was 1 10th-ounce gold coin every month, excuse me. And he did not want that coin, but he had to buy it in order to qualify for commissions. So he kept buying it. He just tossed it in the shoebox. Well, he's always had a dream of owning Montana mountain property by Glacier National Park. And after all those years, he pulled out those coins, and they'd gone up enough in value. That's how he bought his dream property in Montana.
Wow.
He actually used them as collateral. He didn't want to get rid of his gold coins, but he used them as collateral to buy the Montana. And I've been up on it. It's like 60 acres overlooking Ashley Lake, just outside of Glacier National Park. And that's, so, same thing, even if you don't want these, you toss them in your shoebox. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, who knows what they'll be worth just for the silver content in them.
Right. Okay.
So
Not many
Yeah,
auto
so-
ships go up in value as you buy them, as you keep them.
So I had one more question. And speaking of storage, I was interested in gold and silver last year, but I was grateful for 7K metals when it was introduced to the investment group. I was going to buy a bar, but I was going to bury it underground or either put it in my closet. So, and I want to keep my silver here in my home. Do you have any recommendations for vaults inside the home?
We talked about that.
Well, there's a Sound Money wallet, the Sound Money Vault, but that is in Idaho Falls.
Right.
A lot of people, myself included, I want to have it in my home. Okay. I'm not sure how much I want in my home. I don't want somebody walking up to my home put a gun to my wife's head and say, open up your safe.
Right.
But where I live in Wyoming, most of us have gun vaults. And so we already have a vault. We just put silver and gold in to keep our guns safe, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Okay.
But a lot of people have some sort of safe. A lot of people actually do bury it in the ground. But I heard of one story where a guy did, grandpa did that. And nobody can remember where he buried it. So they're out on his, 100-acre farm with metal detectors trying to find where he buried his precious metals. So if you do that, make sure you leave a good map for somebody.
All right.
And I mean, and just to chime in really quickly, so the thing about the main thing that I really get from 7K, but everyone is going to have a different perspective or different outlook, right? I mean, obviously you can go, you can get involved with 7K and just share your 7K link, and people could just go and actually purchase gold and silver or any type of coins at their choice and just pay retail price for it, right? And then you just split the profits between yourself and 7K, for 7K being that intermediary. So that's one option. Then, as we just discussed, being involved with 7K, if you choose to, you can get involved in for the coin collecting aspect. So here's the thing about being successful financially, right? Is that if you find a need or want and then just fill it, you can make a lot of money. So here, from the coin collecting standpoint, then you could just go out every time. So the most recent one is the Roman Empire coin. Buy it, right? We get an opportunity to actually purchase that at direct dealer prices, and there's a market for that. You follow what I'm saying? And then you just become the retailer. Prime example to the Black Panther coin, right? Richard bought that for $150, $170, whatever that dollar amount was. But the market has determined that that's now worth $1,000 or more or less, right? But you get to keep that spread though, and then reinvest that. And then the other thing here is just true accumulation, right? So at this point, this is all, I'm still new to this space, but I'm always being transparent. For me, I'm literally just accumulating it and housing it, right? So I'm looking at appreciating assets. That's what it does for me. Is it adds diversification to my entire portfolio for appreciating assets. Just like with the crypto space, the whole idea here is that we're looking at appreciating assets. Real estate, an appreciating asset. So 7K literally offers you the opportunity to earn here 4 different ways just by being involved in the program. And then we're not even talking about the referral piece, which, is always here, but just like with everything, even the referral side is just optional, right? So literally with 7K, we have 5 different ways to actually earn here. That's that. If I just kind of summed it up, would you agree with that, Richard?
That's you said in just a few minutes there better than what I said in the last half hour. Yeah, there's lots of different reasons why people do this. I do the compensation part because I'm buying a bunch of precious metals, but none of it's coming out of my household budget. I just take my commission checks and buy more bullion with it. And just the bullion, I'm mailing just for the bullion, but I have a client who's 96 years old. He's been buying silver and gold since his 20s, so the last 70 years.
Jesus.
Okay. His great grandchildren are very happy he's been doing that, just in the bullion, not in the collectibles,
70 years.
because he's got, I was calculating the other day, because we're starting to gift it away to his, literally to his great grandchildren. And there's over $12 million worth of silver eagles,
God.
gold eagles, and what they call junk silver, which is pre-1965 coins when they were 90% silver. And so that was him.
Wow.
You got Larry Miller, that's in a relatively short time accumulated $24 million in the collectible. So millions of dollars, whether it's the bullion and how it's gone up or the collectibles. You're right. There's something in here for everybody, depending on why you're buying precious metals.
All right, family. So, we're looking to continue to always, bring this type of value. And, Richard has made himself available for, I'm truly thankful for everything. Richard has made himself available for the entire United Investors Group International Group, but has also specifically made himself available for our group. Don't take that lightly, family, right? He's made himself available. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. Reach out to me. If you can reach out to me, and then if I don't know the answer, I'm definitely going to reach out to Richard. And when I say take advantage, obviously I don't mean that in a negative connotation, but take advantage of the relationships that you've been able to be a part of by being in this entire space within our social book club of the investment group. Richard did not have to do this for our group. I can promise you that, right? But if this, I promise you, we have to, and the other thing, like I always share within our group, is we have to think long-term, right? If you're thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow, from a wealth accumulation standpoint, that's not going to get you to where you need to go. Right now, the steps that you're going to take tomorrow is better than what's going to happen in terms of my value of what's going to be worth. As long as you're doing the right things, you'll get it. Right? All right. So with that, Richard, you're more than welcome to stay if you want. I just wanted to touch on and go over a couple things here with the team, just kind of talk about, really quickly, some of the qualifications, make sure everybody's clear on the qualifications to get the ring, what having those qualifications can mean in the long term, and just maybe touch on a few things. But if you're more than welcome to stay, by all means. But if not, I do appreciate your time. I really do truly appreciate your time, and thank you for pouring into the team here today.
Thank you, Richard.
Thanks everyone for listening in. I appreciate the opportunity to explain it.
Yeah, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Richard.
All right.
Welcome. Good night.
Good night. Take care. All right. So, family, that was please don't take that information lightly, right? We are give me just a second. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to start sharing. All right, family. So and don't take this information lightly, right? 7K, and I really wanted to bring it to the group specifically because it is one of the more, it's a very great platform, but an underrated platform that a lot of people don't truly understand. It packs a lot of value, but Richard did an amazing job here. So I'm really thankful. But that is one of the qualifications. Now, here's the thing about the ring that I just wanted to share, is when it comes to this ring, these qualifications that are set in place, it's not like you have to think about the mindset about these qualifications, right? When you set up these qualifications, and once you get to these benchmarks, if you will, that this does not mean that I have not earned $1 million in this group. However, because I've put myself in a position to be qualified to get to get that is meeting those benchmarks will definitely help you to earn $1 million or more, if that's what you want to do, right? And the great thing about it is that it puts everyone, it also forces everyone to make sure that they're diversified, diversification. And that's the thing that I've always shared, right? Within our group is diversification, diversification. As many of you guys know, with my background in financial planning, diversification becomes very important. I always look at it almost like having an elevator, right? If you look at how an elevator is structured, there's literally 4 cables going up on each one, right? If one of those cables get disconnected, the elevator will be uncomfortable to be in, but it's still being held by 3 cables. You follow what I'm saying? And you can still go up and down until maintenance come through and fix it, right? Or you just get it fixed, or you just, it's temporarily out. But if the elevator was being held by 1 cable, and that cable goes out, you're done, right? So diversification is important. So what I'm gonna do here, give me just a second. I'm actually gonna share my screen because I wanna make sure everybody is clear with what the qualifications are to get the ring. Now, we do have an international group. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So I'm gonna hide the video here. So as you can see, the qualifications here is for everybody, right? And there's gonna be different qualifications depending on where you are in the world. So if you are here in the US, okay, these are the qualifications. You need to be sure that you, well, let's start here. You wanna make sure that you have a promo page. That's easy. You wanna make sure you have that. Without this, getting involved or even sharing everything else, it becomes difficult, right? You'll end up doing way more talking and explaining than you need to, but make sure you get a promo page, okay? You need to be involved with Copy Pro Traders. If you're not involved with Copy Pro Traders, again, this is just hands-free, just being able to have investments in the crypto space without worrying about buying, selling, or that stress, right? We're literally just hands-free and literally crypto investing. It's like having a broker who's managing your stocks, okay? But in a crypto space. 7K, we just went through a phenomenal presentation here about 7K. So we should be good here, right? This should be that's part of it. And then here is Amazon store or mortgage notes, okay? So for me, how I was able to get it is put myself in a position to get this, to get the ring, is at this time, I am involved in mortgage notes, or I'm signed up for the class. The class actually starts here in a couple of weeks, okay? So I will be in this space. So 7K, mortgage notes, or Amazon store if you're in the US, and these 3, and that doesn't mean that I'm not going to get an Amazon store. I just don't have it yet. But this is retail long money. So even if they was to go ahead and close all of the brick and mortar companies, online shopping is still going to be made available. This is long-term wealth accumulation. And then we're going to be having the Walmart stores coming about, mortgage notes, land is here. Land is here. It's been here since the beginning of time, right? Long-term wealth creation, precious metals. I'm not going to repeat what was just said, but again, long-term wealth accumulation. Gentlemen been collecting coins for 70 years, $12 million. Absolutely insane. All right, and then you need to be involved with Case, right? You need to have $1,800, at least $1,800 invested in Case. Hyperfund, you need to have at least $2,000 in contributions in Hyperfund. Case literally get paid every 4 seconds. I believe if you're on this Zoom, if you're part of our group, if you're not if you're not in Case, you're really just doing yourself a disservice. It's too easy to get it started with. It's only, and I literally, and I'm not one to be in anybody's pockets, as you guys know, but Case, I can say it's only $20 to get started. Like most people are going to blow $20 on some BS anyway. Why not put yourself in a position to allow that to accumulate? Hyperfund, same thing here, 2000. And then with Auto BTC, you need to be at least at level 2. Okay. So I just wanted to go over that. We'll start to have more of these types of presentations where we really start to get into and spend more time talking about these types of platforms like we did with just 7K. And then for our international family, all right, same thing. UIGI, you need to have a promo page. You need to be involved with Copy Pro Trader. Case, the minimum drop. Hyperfund, the minimum drop for our international family because they have other qualifications that they have to meet. Our international family need to make sure that they have at least $1,000 in Cuba Life, at least $3,000 in CFX or Cash Forex Group, and at least be at level 2 inside of the DAISY program. As we know that these Cuba Life, CFX, and DAISY, it's only available for our international family, okay? And then for both, and let's not forget this, is being involved in the UIGI VIP membership. So this really quickly, to be part of the VIP membership, it is $3,000 to get to. Now, here's what it is. It's access. It's access, right? I can't, so unfortunately, I'm not able to even share that information, but it's access to information here with people who have earned strong 6 figures, people who have earned a very strong 7 figures, 10 figures, and we have some billionaires here, right? So it's access and the information that you're able to get just by being in this space. VIP Facebook group, high level investment phases. So there's going to be platforms or investment platforms that's going to be offered specifically to this group outside of what's already involved in the UIG. So to get access to this, you have to be part of the VIP group. Of course, this is a qualification for the Millionaire Circle. Millionaire Wealth Development. So again, those millionaires and billionaires talking about the things that they've done. And I don't know about everyone else, but it's not very often that, I'm in a room where I'm rubbing elbows, whether that's physically, even though we have to practice social distancing, physically or even virtually, speaking to multi-millionaires and billionaires. If you're in the US, or anywhere in the country, there are some benefits of setting up and having a Dubai residency. Awesome. Specialized trust setup. The individual who handles this, they're the attorney. His attorneys are top-rated athletes, executives at major companies that that you buy from, right? Again, retail, right? Who have set up these trusts in place, 5-day all expense paid trips that they'll be giving away, and then jewelry card, and so much more. So and then we put ourselves in a position to get this beautiful thing, right? And and I do appreciate, again, everybody, right? Everyone in our group, but it's just about what this symbolizes. To get this, that does in fact mean that you are earning. You're literally earning. If you think about those qualifications, understanding how the platforms work, then you can see just with those bare minimums, what you can put yourself in a position to be earning right now, and even long term, in which we can't even put a price on at this time, because you don't know. I don't know. I'm looking at something like 7K. That gentleman who's 96 years old, I'm not speaking anything into his life, but in terms of death or anything like that, but it's a fact that he's closer to the end than he was when he was then at the beginning. And what he has done is set up some things for his, not his children. Richard didn't mention his children. Richard didn't mention his grandchildren. He said for his great-grandchildren. So how do you put a price tag on that part? And then what they're going to do for the next generation. This is how wealth is accumulated and passed down from generation to generation. So it's what this symbolizes. It's going to be an amazing conversation starter, right? An absolute amazing conversation starter when you have this on your finger. And yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. And let's see here, just a moment. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here so we're all good. And one last thing to note here. Yeah, and then for 7K, just got this from Richard. The Rich Dad Coach that Richard just mentioned earlier actually does Zoom meetings on the first and third Thursday of each month. Okay. The first Thursday is on the monetary system, and then the third is actually on the entire cash flow quadrant. So if you're not sure what the cash flow quadrant is, it's literally the logo for our Telegram group. How about that? Right? I put that logo and made that logo our Telegram group, or made that or utilized that as the logo for our Telegram group specifically because that cash flow quadrant, it's absolutely phenomenal. If you don't know what it is, please look that up. Please look that up. All right, and then I'll get the info. Once I get the info from Richard, I'll go ahead and post it in our Telegram group, and I'll also shoot it out via the email blast. All right. So it's 6:08. I don't want to keep everybody too long. You know, want to be respectful of everybody's time, but we'll be having another one sometime this. Yeah, I'm putting some things in place for our group. So you know, we'll be discussing another phase here sometime this week. I'm shooting for Tuesday or Wednesday, and stay tuned for that. We can make that happen. It'll be a very special guest also. So like, look, I'm trying my best to put things in place for the team because I truly want to see everybody win. That's always my goal. That's always been my goal. And let's win, family. All right. So
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm hungry now.
Thank you.
Had a very intense workout earlier. Still haven't really quite eaten, so I gotta get to it.
Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you. I do
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Congrats, man.
All right, family. So with that being said, we are
Peace.
out, and then we'll be reconnecting here soon.
All right, thanks,
you all
everybody.
take care.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thanks
Stay
for your
healthy, guys.
leadership, man.
Thank you. I appreciate each and every single one of you all. All right, take care.
After organizers can